Alright, good evening everybody. So my husband has his game online. He's playing Assassin's Creed. But I will be showing you how to play the Summoner since the newest update. I've used my older character to test out all sorts of goodies and what have you that they have provided for Summoner these days. So, welcome to Final Fantasy XIV, Guide to be a Summoner. My name is Amanda Snyder and I'll be your guide. So, a little bit about summoners. They're really fun, in my opinion, to play. I've also played a Thermotruge. Just haven't gotten as far as the Black Mage yet. That's one of those things that I will be looking forward to eventually doing with another character on this game. Um, it's kind of difficult to level characters if you don't have any main scenario quests going. So, that's why I've decided to start some new characters. So just sit back, enjoy. If you like my content, subscribe to my page, leave a like, and hopefully, eventually, one of these days, I'll get good enough to where I can actually start making money from this. So, this character that you'll be playing, the summoner, actually starts out in Limsa Lominsa. Um, of course, this is where you meet our first two scions, Alize and Alphino. And you meet this interesting guy, Brennan. So, if you haven't heard of this game started out with 1.0, which was disastrous. Um, and then they took that version of the game offline and they brought online this newer version, which is when I started playing, which was like 2013. Um, it's interesting to say the least to see how this game has done and to see how this game has progressed and how this game has been just shot into fame and into the fame that it's gotten. Um, of course, I'm just choosing a random option. You can choose to say nothing, and you can choose to say one of these three options. So as you can see, you have a run-in with pirates. These pirates have most likely been sworn to the Swahagan. The Swahagan worship a worship a deity called Leviathan, and they want to retake all the lands for themselves, including Limsa Lominsa, because they feel as if the humans have taken it from them, the Hyruleans and all these other guys have taken it from them. So it's interesting to see um, how it um, how the story develops and how each beast tribe will come up to or be involved with will see the invading species, as they call it. Now, as a warning, as I like to give everybody, when you first start the game, you'll be taken through a series of prompts and stuff. Seeing as I've played this game since 2013, I pretty much know how the game is played, but I'll be leaving the tips up for you guys so you all can see it. I'm going to choose yes, even though I've been to Limsa Lominsa before. Um, I usually play a summoner. I have another character on this game, and she's been my longest running character. She's currently like level 82, and her name is Serenity Raylina. So, so she's been my longest running character, and the only reason I'm not playing with her is because I actually want people to see how Summoner starts out and how it's played by joining up with the Arcanus Guild. So you're gonna start your adventure and immediately find yourself being questioned by the law. So just be ready for it. So this is where we bid farewell to our fellow peddler and our fellow peddlers and other types of people. Um, so as you can see, she's already carrying a book, meaning that she's probably already established herself in her home country. Um, As you'll figure out, your character does have the echo. Our first introduction to the Yellow Jackets. I absolutely love these, the Maelstrom. They are absolutely great guys. Of course, you're going to have your bad apples in every bunch, and you'll see that when you get up to the Drowning Winch. As you can see, I am actually playing mouse and keyboard. And it shows you the basic controls, which you can test out here. So, just kind of, make yourself aware, you know, of your settings to what you're using. To be honest, I haven't used anything other than computer stuff since I quit playing on PlayStation 4. I used to play there. It was a lot more difficult at that time. Okay, so you see that our first little active help window has popped up. It's called the Initiating Quest. We haven't even started the main quest of the storyline yet, so it kind of looks like a side quest, but this is actually a rather necessary quest to get you up to where you need to go. So this is called an NPC that you're staring at right now with the quest button above their head. If you've played MMO RPGs or MMOs or any game really, you should know about the NPC or non-playable character. Now we have another one that talks about accepting quest. So I'm just going to show you. You could either choose to accept or decline. In this case, we're just going to accept. So he's telling us to go to the Drowning Winch, where we will meet up with our good buddy up there. So, woohoo, we have begun a quest. Okay, so here's our duty list. It's right here, right underneath your map, which shows where you are in a city. Upon accepting the quest, you just look at your duty list to see how many you have. Poor Sarah, she's like way behind. Poor baby. I have to go and take care of that later after I finish recording this. But as you can see, it talks about accepting a quest. And I went for the long hair. A lot of my characters have long hair. I don't typically play male characters. We're going to travel up the lift. I just don't see it as something that's necessary to me to play a short-haired character, but you can do whatever. Okay, so this next one, we're gonna be collecting rewards. Okay. Of course, this can all be disabled later, like once you get used to it. Oh, yay! First major cutscene. This is Veldron. Probably one of my favorite shopkeeper, guild keeper types of guys here. To me, I imagine him sounding like a Briton with bad accent, like in the days of pirates, So try to imagine the voices because to be honest, not all of your NPCs are going to have a voice. So it's interesting when they do get a voice, like Captain Mayaweb, she'll have a voice, and that'll be really cool to see her voice. It's pretty awesome. So basically, this has happened after the calamity, um, and no one can remember anything. Nothing. So it's gonna be interesting. So these are the bad yellow jackets. Okay, so the whole talk about the kidnappings is going to take us into our main story quest line. It's going to be basically figuring out who's doing the kidnapping, and then you're going to get sent to be an envoy through Limsa, and then you're eventually going to join the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, where you'll meet one of my favorite characters, Minvelia. She's absolutely hands down one of my favorites. Okay, so now you've completed a quest. You get 400 experience, 103 gil, which is kind of nice to have because you have no money right now, 0. Okay, so we've concluded the introductory game tutorial, but now we're an adventurer, yay, and we've leveled up. So one of the first things you're gonna see is going to be your carbuncle. That's something that is really a main staple of the summoner in Final Fantasy XIV is their carbuncle. So it's it's really kind of an interesting thing to deal with when you have a pet. There's some people that like your carbuncle being out during a dungeon, and then there are some that don't think you should have one. The latter group has usually come over from WoW and doesn't understand how important this is. Okay, so we're going to be moving. we're going to be moving on to our first main scenario quest lines. This is the help screen that talks about that. This lesser blue one right here, those are lessers, but they often unlock things like dungeons, so they're really important to do while you're blue line quest. We're level 2, getting ready to start on our level 1 main scenario quest, by the way. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to pick up like another sideline quest to even get off this deck. So, of course, he talks to you about all the necessities of coming into a new city. My biggest advice to you is as soon as you hit a big city with an Aether site, which we will attune to here in just a minute as soon as we can get off this floor, the best thing I can tell you to do is to attune to the big Aether site as you walk into the city. Because if you don't, you're going to have a hard time getting back there, because then you have to spend significant amounts of gil to get back. So, but the Smith, they kind of help new players by undertaking missions and stuff to help their character grow. So you'll have to accept the quest making a name by speaking with Ninya in order to even leave the floor. So, which is going to come over here. And of course we have this next help thing. This is our main menu. I'll show you that in just a second. It helps us log in and out of the game, and then there's also navigation. You can see on the map where there's a quest to be completed. It's all pretty simple, but this is going to be your main menu buttons right here. You have your character, which will bring up stance, action traits, currency, character, armory chest, inventory, and a bunch of other stuff that we haven't unlocked yet, and then achievements. Then you have your duty, like your key items, your journal, and your timers, and you'll unlock a lot of this rest of the stuff as you go. I've already unlocked a new game plus, so I can actually replay the game if I want to. And then some other logs that we haven't unlocked yet, the travel, which can bring up our map, or you can just hit the letter M on the keyboard. Now, party. We haven't done our first party yet in this game as far as this goes. And then we have our social stuff. Let's say you have a friend who's playing the game and you're new to the game. Woohoo! Yay! Congratulations, you've just started playing. Now, what this also means is that you might want to look up some of your buddies so you all can group up and have a good time. You can do that by hitting player search and finding your buddy's username and becoming friends with them. Then you also have Fellowship Finder. Fellowships are something that's kind of new. These are just some random people that join your fellowship, and you can just go gallivanting along with them. Then you have emotes, and those are just some basic things that you can do throughout the game. And then you have your crossworld link shells, and a few other things like free company. You haven't joined one yet. Housing, PvP, fellowships, friendship, friend list, contacts, and blacklist. If you had to blacklist somebody, that's because they were being a jerk, or somebody blacklists you. Just be aware of how you're acting. And then we have our system stuff, like our HUDs and our UI and everything else, including logging out and exiting the game. So, now we're going to continue on. Woo! We get 10 Earth Shards and 2 potions if we play this, along with 50 experience. So, we've already got 100 out of the 450. So, this is going to be a quest that we have to accept, but now we can leave the floor. that we're on. So we're going to take the crow's lift down. The crow's lift is kind of important. We just interacted with something. So as we go on, you're going to notice these glittering herb things. Of course, then we have the sanctuary cities. So this crescent just basically says we're in a sanctuary. When we're not in a sanctuary, that crescent will not be there. Let me see if I can find something. I guess not. But we'll go ahead and just start with this little side quest here. So I'm gonna have Tara pick up these peculiar herbs, which look awfully suspicious. Not really. They just look like to me, they look like lilac or something like that, you know. But, you know, we're going to continue picking up these herbs until we get like 6 of them. And then we're going to turn them into one of the yellow jackets. As you can see, it's kind of laggy because it gets busy. And starts taking forever from about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon to get on usually. It took me like only 40 this time. Okay, so you're going to see that we can now complete this objective. So now we're going to hand over the items, which you just saw me do. It's lavender. You know, nothing to really worry about. So I'm going to summon up our Carby. So there's our carbuncle. So now we are just going to look at using items. I'm not going to show you how to use them just yet. Okay, so I'm going to move this up and out of my way. This is our pet bar. We could tell our pet to do whatever. Steady, stay, place, heal, and away. So if you don't want your carbuncle attacking things, okay, right now we're attuning. But if you don't want your carbuncle attacking without you or anything, you know, it's important to know what's going on. So we've learned a new spell without having to level up. Like if you just want to return to the city real quick, like after you've completed a mission to turn in this mission and you want to return to your home city, it's kind of important and vital. So, but you have to be attuned to the Aether site in order to do this. And you can pick up a home port like wherever. So that's kind of an interesting point. Okay, we're now in Hawker's Alley, which is where we go to buy and sell things, and which I'll be explaining retainers as well later on, because we'll get one. Okay, so as you can see, I right-clicked. Well, you can't see me right-click it, but if you right-click on your mouse and you click Hand It Over, you're going to hand this guy's ox tent over. Bless you. Okay. So now we're going to go to the next thing. We're going to go visit the Arcanus Guild. And what you just saw me walk past was was one of our newest healers that we just got this recent expansion. I can't even remember the name right now. This is what happens when you work all the time and you don't really play much. But they're kind of the reason that scholars are all 9 kinds of upset right now, because they felt like they got like dissed and got nothing new in the game, whereas summoners got all the new cool stuff. However, in the past, scholars have gotten all the new cool stuff, and summoners have been just kind of, left out to wash and dry, so to speak. So, one of the biggest pieces of advice I can't speak enough on is when you take to joining the Arcanus Guild, it's also a good idea to take Scholar as well. Mainly just because they'll level up together. So, okay. So we're going to go ahead and join the Arcanus Guild, okay? So, here we are. We're going to go see Miss Rivergim. We'll do this after we turn in our main scenario quest. But here pretty quickly, we'll be able to take on the Scholar. Of course, it'll just level up. As you can see, we have an Aethernet shard. My best advice is to attune to as many of these as you can get to on your quest lines. It's extremely important. We now have access to the Aethernet. This will take us through to like different parts of the city, like when we're doing quests for the guild, or whether we're doing our main scenario quests. These are kind of something that's important to have by. Here you have your market boards. You can go on there and find just about anything and everything for not so pretty penny. It's really expensive to use this market board, so I'm just gonna attune to this one in Hawker Alley real quick. These Ethernet shards are like all over the city, so just remember how it's going to be when you're entering into a city, and remember to find as many of these as you can and attune to all of them. When you attune to every single last one, it will allow you to it'll just allow you to expedite yourself to the outer gates of every city. So we're gonna go past all this right here. You're hearing a bard. Airship landing we'll talk about in a little while. And I know you can see the 5 messages up here. As I said, I've been playing this game for quite a while, so those messages mainly have to do with stuff for my character. Like, little extras you get for being subscribed to Final Fantasy XIV. So, we'll go ahead and complete this quest. Okay, so we're now level 3, and we won't be able to accept this next one for summer build until level 4. So let's just go take care of that quest for the Arcanus Guild real quick. We'll go down to Bulwark Hall, which is like the very bottom. So now that we're level 3, let's take a little trip outside the city. Make sure that our character stuff cannot be updated any further. We have the Ring of Fidelity. So that's our Arcanist. Okay, so we've unlocked the fate system. What this means is that you're gonna have all these like little blue circles and stuff appear on your map. You can do them for increased experience, and you can do them to level up, things like that. And then of course, you have your level sync. What that means is that if you're too high, you can sync your level to still participate in that fate if you wish to. Our next one is our battle, so we're gonna go kill some creatures here in just a minute. We had to slay 3 wharf rats, 3 arularay, and 3 little ladybugs. So you'll see me get into that in just a second. And then achievements. We will unlock achievements, and when we unlock them, sometimes we get some pretty cool items. Oh look, a level 2 little ladybug here. So we're just gonna start out with just basic cast. So as you can see, experience points. I've had an item that's just bound to me, and I'll explain that here in just a second. So when you get experience points, that'll help you level up and things like that. So just be aware of doing all that. The higher level you get, the more these piddly little creatures won't do it for you and won't fill up your experience quite as much. So what you saw was that bright blinding light that encompassed me for just a second. That was our item becoming bound to us. Stay away from the level 12 stuff. You're not ready for those yet. That's something I will always warn you of, is stay away from things that you are not ready to attack. Don't see any of what I'm looking for here, so we're going to go to another part. And since we're so close, we don't really need to worry about just transporting back in. But I will go ahead and I will show you return. This is return. Yeah, we're right outside the city, so I kind of see that this might be pointless, but this costs you no gold. You just have to wait for that gauge to count down enough to where you don't have to worry about it. Okay. So, to kind of show you how to get up in other places, that way you know, if you don't want to use the lift, you want to take the stairs, you can. Stairs, they just, you can't even tell that you're running up the stairs, not until later on in the game, like, so something to be aware of. We're going to go the wrong way. So as you can see, it takes you right up to where we started. As you can see. And if you want to go out, here's some of the other parts. But where we're looking is we're looking for the aft castle, which is going to be right out here. And oh, look, we have an Aether shard. Now I'm also going to show you how to check your mail. Oh, but Amanda, why do we need to know this? Because when you get a free company, these guys are going to be really nice to you in most cases, and they're going to help you better your character. And yes, you don't have to worry about running into people, because you'll just phase right through them. Okay. So we're going to run past all these salesmen here, and come to our delivery model. So, see, all these are just messages containing everything that we have. This is our mail delivery service where we can accept mail from the developers and all that. See, they're so nice to give us an entire stripe outfit. Now we have an armory chest, and then also untradeable items. So, and then unique items. Sometimes it'll say this item is both unique and untradeable. That means that you can't sell it. So, it'll just be sitting there for you to use. This was the Wild Rose attire. And then I also have the Tantalus gear from Final Fantasy IX. This happens quite a bit. And then we have Lionheart's attire. And then we have Wind Up Palom and Mendelia's earring. So we now have a minion. And I'll show you how to make him active here in just a second. And Mendelia's earring is like a big boost for people that are lower than level 70. You get this earring when you buy like the newest expansions ahead of time, like a pre-order. So if you didn't buy this game like while it was on pre-order, you're not going to have Menphelia's earring. So I know it seems awfully unfair. So what you're going to see me do is you're going to see me update recommended gear. So as you can see, it's item level 430. It gives you all these extra stats. Alright. So this is going to help us gain quite a bit of experience with Menphelia's earring on. And now we're headed to go slay some things. Ooh, we have unlocked an achievement. So let's go to our achievements and see the unlocking process. Okay, so we've gotten Lower Lenosia and Middle Lenosia. There's also going to be a lot of other parts like Upper and Central and whatever. So let's go find these Arularay. We're going to need to beat the living fire out of. You'll realize that when you discover a new location, you will be getting experience for it. Okay. So, something to learn. Be very careful Because if you're not, you will attract the attention of everything and its mother. Trust me, it won't be fun. So, I'm going to go ahead and alright, so, again, no. Woohoo, we are now level. So, you're going to run into things like these over the way. And you might need to heal yourself on location. Okay, so we've now completed the quest. And our return is still on cooldown. But as you can see, after I checked my mail, the envelope is now gone because we've read all of our mail, we've accepted all the like little goodies in it and everything. So I probably won't get us to our first dungeon tonight. I'm probably gonna wrap up after we turn in a few quests. Mainly because I'm tired. And this is not my main gig. I'm actually a gift shop salesperson outside of YouTube. So I'm going to show you how to use the Ethernet shard or the Ethernet system. As you can see, we have a lot of places unlocked already. So we're going to just go ahead and go to the Arcanus Guild. This is actually an update from the earlier version of the game that I'm accustomed to playing. Beforehand, we just clicked on the spot and no map came up to show us where we were going. It just happened. We have got a lot of snow falling down still. Common thing about winter around in these parts. Going from the south, we still get snow. Okay. So. Oh, we have our hunting log that's been unlocked. The hunting log is something that helps you get experience and stuff like that. But now we can go accept our next mission, which we're going to transport over to the Aft Castle to go into the Drowning Winch. And you'll see how to do that here in just a minute. The really cool thing about Final Fantasy XIV is that really you can take a job on top of your actual hero job. Okay, so there's the smith, and there's the innkeep. We haven't unlocked the innkeep yet. So it's going to be really interesting as we go to unlock things. As you can see, we'll get our first sets of gear that are going to have going on. So, we're going to go back over to here real quick. We're going to go to Bulwark Hall, and we are going to walk our happy tails, in this case, because I have a tail, to Summerfield Farms. Yay. we don't get to unlock this yet. We don't get to ride Chocobos yet, sadly enough. You will gain one when you join a free company. So, and this is not the free company like the group of strange people you're going to decide to tag along with. This free company is either going to be the Maelstrom, or one of the other two. So let's do just a little bit of kill here because this is a hunting log. The hunting log necessity will give you lots of tasty XP for your character, and you're gonna want it. As you can see, as your level gets higher, it gets easier to kill. Let's see if we can't get one more little ladybug. There she is. And there she blows. That's another one. I gotta hit one more little ladybug. But as you can see, with just completing just one of these hunting logs, I'm already level 5. So, let us move onward and forward to Summerfield Farms. As you can see, we have another little hunting log here. The little beans over the head mean hunting log. So, the jizz comes in handy. That's kind of like our little shield. So I can stand it in an AoE just a little bit longer. I've killed like 3 of these, so I'll just do one more. Really, you probably should not stand in the AoE when you're playing. Ooh, look, it just gave us a lot of experience. But standing in AoE is typically very bad, and you'll figure that out once you get into dungeons. However, I feel pretty comfortable with these being very low-level creatures, so I'm not that worried about it. I gotta watch where I'm going, because I'm going to end up going the wrong way, and then I'm going to end up going the opposite way of what I wanted to go. So, I'm not even gonna worry about this fate currently, because I'm under the minimum level for it. It's like a level 6, only a level 5. So, not even gonna worry about that. Okay. As you can see, we have our merchant mender and our delivery mule, just like we would in the bigger cities. And they also have an aether site. Please, please, please make sure you attune to every aether site you come into. Okay, so now we've learned teleport, which we couldn't really do before. Okay, so here we have the aether site. These are pretty important when you want to go from city to city. They are kind of expensive. I will bring up the price list for teleporting. It is 100 gil to go back to Summerfield Farms, and you are already there. It is 145 to go to Limsalum Lower Deck. So, fun times ahead. Yeah. Teleporting will take a lot of your gil. So, I have actually been playing Final Fantasy for a very long time. I started playing with 7 and just kept going. I've played 15. I really like 15. I love how they used Florence and the Machine to sing Stand By Me. I think that she has a very lovely voice. I'm not usually much for modern artists and modern music. I tend to prefer the old-fashioned, but there are just some people who just get it right. Hmm, trouble. And spoiler alert, you will run into a lot of trouble. Okay, so we are not Disciple of War, so stay away from the Altered Thigh Boots. We'll go to the white ones instead. So, we have a Trance Gauge. The Trance Gauge helps us to summon other carbuncles and gem shine and stuff like that. I'll have to show you about this later. We have to, get our Trance Gauge full. As you can see, I only have one, and it's for Ruby. So let's equip our characters' newest gear that they've received. That's probably where I'm going to leave you off for the night. See, it does switch our character up just a little bit. But I think this is where I'm going to get off here for the night. I really enjoyed getting to show how it is to be a new summoner in Final Fantasy XIV. I'll be back on tomorrow night or tomorrow sometime to actually play some more with you guys. So thank you for hanging out. We appreciate you for coming to my channel and listen to me prattle about this amazing and lovely and beautiful game. So ciao, peace out, peace and love, doodlebugs, whatever you want to say. Just have a good night. Come back and see me, and bye.